Imagine a scenario where one corporation monopolizes access to vital societal resources. This represents a scriptural prophecy known as the Mark of the Beast, laden with deep ethical and moral questions. Today, we'll delve into how this affects our individual freedoms and daily lives. Initially, we'll investigate the genesis and significance of this mark, assessing its potential impact on contemporary society. Next, we'll scrutinize existing technologies that might enable such a system, weighing their advantages and hazards against each other. In the third part, we anticipate a revelation that will overturn your assumptions about this age-old prophecy. Consider the consequences if rejecting this mark means societal ostracism. What if your survival hinged on accepting this mark? These queries are intricate, demanding thoughtful consideration of our values and the type of future we desire. Are you ready? The Mark of the Beast. In her book, The Convoluted Universe, Dolores Cannon offers a distinctive perspective on this topic, proposing that such marks have historically signified not only suppression, but also pivotal evolutionary moments for civilizations. This viewpoint encourages us to explore the spiritual dimensions of the Mark of the Beast. This exploration is more than a prophetic interpretation. It's a preparation for a potential future that could drastically alter our notions of liberty and control. We must evaluate our readiness to confront such possibilities and the broader consequences of our technological strides. Opposing this mark might isolate you or perhaps liberate you in unexpected ways. Conversely, embracing it could compromise its core principles. Digital dimensions. Consider the blurring line between technological convenience and surveillance in today's digital era. Reflect on RFID chips, biometric identifiers, and digital IDs, technologies that could realistically embody this ominous mark. Let's consider their ability to regulate access to essential services like food, travel, and healthcare. RFID chips, previously used for tracking packages, are now being used for human applications. Biometric systems, including facial recognition and fingerprint scanners, are prevalent in securing devices and facilities. Together with blockchain technology, these tools could form a pervasive global identification system. The ethical implications are significant. Imagine a world in which a digital ID monitors all of your purchases, movements, and even medical treatments. This possibility is not improbable. Various countries are investigating digital IDs, which might someday become necessary for society's functioning. The debate is whether the advantages of digital integration exceed the possible loss of privacy and autonomy. Furthermore, the advent of such technology raises serious moral concerns. What if membership in this digital system was mandatory? Would you cooperate if your livelihood relied on it? Or would you oppose it and risk social exclusion? These are not hypotheticals, but actual decisions that we may soon confront. In this complex environment, balancing development and ethical issues is critical. We must incorporate these technologies into our lives, not just for practical reasons, but also because they have the potential to make an impact on our basic rights. This examination of technology analogies to the Mark of the Beast is critical in preparing us for a future in which our decisions may determine our social involvement. As we consider these advances, we must choose how much power we are willing to give up in exchange for a more linked society. Spiritual examination. Now let's investigate a less known and probably more intriguing belief. Beyond the basic concept of physical or technical imprints, there's a suggestion that the mark might indicate a deeper, mystical connection. Could the beast's mark signify more than simply an economic instrument, but also a fundamental spiritual or moral allegiance? This interpretation is based on the concept that adopting the mark may imply agreement with a system of values or a worldview that is fundamentally opposed to certain spiritual truths or ethical norms. The decision to accept the mark, therefore, becomes an indicator of one's convictions and values. Consider the societal influences that may lead to the adoption of such a mark. In a culture dominated by conformity, the desire to belong and the fear of rejection may be potent motivators. The true problem may not be avoiding a physical brand, but fighting the impact of prevailing ideologies or economic systems that necessitate sacrifices for personal ideals. Furthermore, this viewpoint encourages us to consider how our daily choices may already be shaping our alignment with or opposition to such a mark. We may see each decision involving a trade-off between convenience and privacy, or between immediate advantages and long-term ideals, as a move towards or away from the brand's beliefs. This mystical interpretation mirrors Dolores Cannon's thoughts on the decisions that shape our spiritual progress. Cannon addressed how important each decision is in our cosmic voyage, implying that the mark might be allegorical, signifying essential choices that form our spiritual pathways. We not only examine the essence of the brand, but we also urge you to analyze how your everyday actions may match with or contradict the deeper connotations of such a sign. Are we now on a path that might lead to brand acceptance, not by force, but through a succession of little and seemingly inconsequential decisions? This investigation raises important concerns regarding autonomy, compliance, and the nature of spiritual integrity in a complicated environment. When we consider the cryptic components of this unusual symbol, it becomes evident that the war may be fought not just against external forces, but also against the internal conflicts we encounter in aligning our lives with our innermost values. Global impacts of international relations. Now, let's look at the global consequences, namely how they can transform international relations and global government. As technology continues to dissolve boundaries and link disparate people, the concept of a global tagging system for identification and financial transactions becomes increasingly plausible, and perhaps more contentious. Consider a scenario in which worldwide travel, global trade, and even access to international assistance are contingent on an individual or country reaching a global standard that includes the mark. This might result in a new type of geopolitical stratification in which a country's or region's access to global resources and economic possibilities is determined by alignment with or opposition to the framework. This universal system might have a big impact on world dynamics. Countries may be compelled to use this system in order to avoid economic isolation or penalties. However, this might elicit strong opposition from both governments, which regard it as a violation of national sovereignty, and individuals who see it as a danger to personal freedom and privacy. Implementing such a system would create serious ethical concerns. Who controls it? What are the protections against abuse? How are dissidents treated under this global framework? These concerns represent ongoing discussions regarding global data privacy regulations and international agreements on surveillance and human rights. The mark of the beast's ability to impact global economic systems and international relations prompts us to ponder the larger implications of such technology. It's not simply about the individual's decision to accept or reject the brand. It is equally important to consider how these decisions might affect entire communities. Furthermore, this global vision is related to Dolores Cannon's ideas about universal awareness and the interconnection of all beings. If the brand becomes a reality, it may put our collective ethical frameworks to the test, challenging us to strike a balance between technical development and the protection of fundamental human rights. It is critical that we consider the future that we are creating through our technical and political decisions. Is the globe becoming more cohesive and egalitarian, or are we preparing the road for more separation and control? The decisions we make now may influence the global society of tomorrow. As the possibility of a global mark system grows more obvious, knowing the spectrum of human emotions is key to projecting both success and obstacles. Social diversion. The decision to accept or reject the mark may not be obvious. For some, compliance may be viewed as a necessary sacrifice in order to retain their lifestyle and security in a culture that values conformity. For others, resistance may be a moral obligation, a stand against what they see as technological excess and a violation of human rights and liberties. But what motivates these decisions? Fear, necessity, and beliefs all play important roles. The fear of being excluded from social services such as healthcare, banking, and education might force acceptance. In contrast, a strong confidence in individual freedom, privacy, or religious views may inspire resistance. This duality of reaction can lead to social fragmentation, resulting in two separate groups within societies: those who conform and those who resist. Such splits can have far-reaching consequences, perhaps causing social instability or even the formation of parallel economies and societies in which various customs and trading systems emerge, based on mark acceptance or rejection. In addressing these reactions, we also look at the tactics that governments and organizations might take to encourage compliance. These might include incentives for people who accept the mark and punishments for those who refuse, complicating the ethical landscape surrounding this problem. Would you cooperate if it meant easier access to global services, or would you oppose it and risk the consequences? Understanding the larger ramifications of these decisions allows us to plan for a future in which such decisions may become a reality. It is critical to explore the ethical quandaries and spiritual effects of broad implementation of such a system. Balancing technology, ethics, and spirituality. Let's discuss the nexus between technology, ethics, and spirituality, exploring how our technological actions can have far-reaching consequences for our spiritual lives. The incorporation of technology into daily life, particularly technologies that may be seen as fulfilling the prophecy of the mark of the beast, presents serious ethical concerns. How can we ensure that technological innovations help society without jeopardizing individual liberty? Who determines what limitations are put on the use of these technologies, and on what criteria? These concerns get considerably more complicated when you consider the spiritual implications of such technology. Accepting the mark is viewed by many as a spiritual commitment rather than a practical decision. This viewpoint is particularly popular in religious and spiritual cultures, where the mark is frequently viewed as a symbol of commitment with everlasting repercussions. The ethical question extends to the control and monitoring capabilities that such a brand may provide. If a digital or physical tag can track movements, financial activities, and even personal encounters, the possibility of misuse is high. This scenario forces us to question how much authority we are ready to give to technical systems and the institutions that govern them. Dolores Cannon's observations are especially pertinent here. She discussed how technology and spiritual advancements are inextricably linked, as well as how the settings we build and maintain have a direct impact on our spiritual health. Every technical decision is a spiritual decision that has the potential to either improve or hurt our collective awareness. It is not sufficient to build technology. We must also develop ethical frameworks to guarantee that these instruments are used ethically while taking into consideration their spiritual implications. In this complicated world, the decisions we make today about how to adopt and govern technology will determine not just our social structures, but also our spiritual journeys. Thirst for knowledge. Whether real or metaphorical, it serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of aligning our technical capabilities with our most deeply held ethical and spiritual beliefs. The concept of the mark of the beast encourages us to think critically about the sort of environment we wish to inhabit. Will we opt to embrace technology unreservedly, even if it means possibly giving up some of our core rights and spiritual integrity? Or will we strike a balance that allows us to profit from technological advancements while adhering to our ethical and spiritual values? The decisions we confront are not purely theoretical. Scenarios that were once deemed science fiction are becoming increasingly real as technology advances at a rapid pace. As a result, our society must have serious and meaningful conversations about the consequences of new technologies. Public discussions, policymaking, and ethical concerns must all play a role in shaping our future technology landscape. It is also critical to foster a culture of awareness and education. Individuals may make educated judgments regarding their involvement in systems like the mark of the beast, provided they comprehend the possible spiritual and ethical repercussions. This understanding also enables communities to push for legislation and protections that protect individuals' rights and liberties. Every choice and action helps to shape our reality. Approach it with the mindset that sees problems as chances for development and progress. Similarly, the difficulties offered by the mark of the beast provide a chance to identify the values and ideals that we defend as a civilization. When considering our future, it is critical that we maintain open communication, keep educated, and actively engage in shaping our social and technical frameworks. Whether or not the mark of the beast prophecy is literally true, the topics it addresses are genuine and important. They compel us to think about not only how we connect with technology, but also how we defend the values that define us as humans. We must think carefully about our roots, engage with the world wisely, and make decisions that honor both our technical potential and our spiritual and ethical values. Let us do it with intelligence, foresight, and a strong dedication to the greater good. I hope this video has given you some new perspective and motivation to gracefully and wisely manage the celestial currents. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time if you are still with me, and if you would like, please think about subscribing to our channel. You may then receive updates on new videos that will provide you with additional knowledge, manifestations, philosophy, and personal development ideas. Your thoughts and opinions regarding this video would be much appreciated. Your contribution stimulates our cosmic research, and we are incredibly appreciative of your being here. I hope you embrace the universe's transformational power, shine brightly on your journey of self-discovery and progress until we meet again. And never forget that we are always here for you and wish you the best possible life filled with success and happiness. I hope you have an amazing day. If you have watched until the end, please respond with MMM, Master Motivational Mindset, so we can connect.